What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are, second red day in a row. I hate red day recaps. These are the worst. And today, it's a big one. Down $6,900. Why? I don't know why I was so aggressive. I knew out of the gates that there wasn't a lot on the watch list, and my first trade on CHEK, I bought right into a big 25,000 share seller. I jumped in with 7,500 shares and it instantly dropped 30 cents. So I was out 2,100 bucks. First trade, first 5 minutes. I then go into another trade. I jump in with 10,000 shares and boom, it drops 40 cents per share and I'm out $4,000. And just like that, you know, it's my fourth trade of the week, fourth red trade in a row, and I'm down, you know, 6,900 on the day. So it is what it is. This is the life of a trader. You got to be able to, you know, get knocked off the horse and bounce back up. I've fallen off the horse so many times that I just know how to hit the ground, bounce right back up and jump right back on it, and I'll do it tomorrow. You know, it's just one of those things. I've just been here so many times where I've been sitting at the end of a red day thinking, why? You know, again. But it'll always happen. As long as I'm trading, there will always be red days. So, you know, that's why I'm not like, you know, I'm not crying, I'm not, you know, I'm not that beaten up about it. It's annoying. I'd certainly rather be green today. It's a little frustrating, but, you know, you just gotta take it with stride. It's just the way it is. And I'm sure it's like this with a lot of professions. You know, there's, you know, you could think of a million other professions where you know, you start, let's say, building a house, and then you realize you screwed something up and you gotta take a bunch of stuff down and redo it. And it's frustrating and it's annoying, but you got to do it the right way. And so, you know, if that's what happens, that's what happens. And it's just the way it goes. So, you know, it's that way with, you know, you guys, I watch the Deadliest Catch. What's today? It's Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. And I've seen them where they'll set a whole string of pots and they forget to, you know, tie one of the parts of the trap. And so the crab go in and they walk back out. They come back through and they have to pick up that whole string of pots and they're like, every single one is empty, what's going on? And how much did that cost them? In fuel, in time, in lost opportunity. Tens of thousands of dollars. And, you know, I'm sure it'll happen another time down the road because that's life. So, anyways, you just gotta take things with stride. So today's a red day, but hey, I'm still up $70,000 on the month. 100,000 is still within reach. So, anyways, we'll break down all of today's trades in today's midday market recap. All right, so part two of red day recap. Second red day in a row. You know, I can't stand having red days like this, and I have this big goal for the month of May. You know, but it is what it is. So today, I felt a little more frustrated than I felt in any day recently, mostly just because I felt like I knew there weren't a lot of good setups pre-market. In my very first trade on CHEK, this one, it was a gap and go stock, and I jumped in it shortly after the bell rang for the break of 520. And basically I bought into a 25,000 share seller, which I didn't really see until I was getting into it. And so I took 7,500 shares at 520, and it pretty much, you know, when that seller didn't break, it just dropped all the way back here down to 480. So it dropped like 40 cents, and I had 7,500 shares. So on that very first trade, I lost 2,300 bucks in the first 2 minutes of the day, which is awful. I never like to start the day with a loss that big, but it is what it is. So got stopped out on that one, and then I was sitting tight. We saw CDTI kind of squeezing up, but you know, these are sort of the cheap ones. I don't usually like to go for them. What was it? Losing my train of thought. SNES. This one continued, but I didn't think it was really that. I just didn't think it would be clean. I didn't really trust it. Again, this kind of price range I'm not as good at. You know, sort of consolidating here under this high of $1.58. The bell rings, and it does end up squeezing up from $1.58, as you can see here,
to $1.64, pullback, and then it taps $1.74, a little pullback and up to $1.83. So, you know, I could have traded it, but the level 2 seemed pretty thickly traded. It was pretty crowded. It already has 27 million shares of volume today. And so I didn't trade it. And then CARV, C-A-R-V, pops up on the scanner. I made some money on this one last week, and it pops up and I see it at 720 up to a high of 730, 734. And so I bought the 1 minute micro pullback right here, but I made a mistake on this order. Instead of, and I don't know really what happened. Instead of getting in it at 25 and 30, which is where I wanted to get in, I put my limit order all the way up at $5 or $7.84. I don't know why I had such a high limit order. And so as I was pressing the buy button, I was getting filled, but I was getting filled way up here. And so then I got stopped out as it came back down, and I lost 4 grand on that. So just like that, I'm down 6,900 on the day for, I guess, the worst day in like 2 weeks, which is disappointing. You know, losing nearly $7,000 in one day isn't fun. Fortunately, I'm still up 70,000 on the month, so I have no right to complain, but you know, this just wasn't clean. So on CARV, you can see here, I got in it, I started getting filled at 26 and 33, which is exactly what I expected, and my next orders were filling at 46, 50, 61. High a day was 63. So I filled very close to the highs, which was not good. And then 2 minutes later, it's back at $7. And, you know, at that point, I have no choice but to stop out. And so I sold at 7 and 690 as it dropped down. And so just like that, with 10,000 shares, I lost 46 cents per share or something like that. And, you know, it just, you know, creates a little bit of a hole for me to dig out of. Not a big hole, but, you know, a little bit of a hole. So I made 25,000 last week. I'm up 70,000 on the month as of today. But, you know, I still have that goal of 100K. And so that means I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days left, you know, to make $30,000. And it can happen if we see good momentum. But today we didn't see good momentum. And so after CARV, I was like, all right, I'm done trading. I'm not going to do this again. LMFA, I see this one as another one breaking through the $1 spot. This is kind of what's hot right now. Stocks going from 75 cents to $1, $1.50. Like I said, generally, I don't do well in this price range. I don't like trading them. CDTI, it broke through $1, hit $1.52, and then came back down and is, you know, selling off. We saw BOSC. This one hit the scanners, and look at this. It popped up to $1.53 and then dropped all the way to $2.16. That is an ugly false breakout. So it popped up and then immediately reversed. RTTR. It popped up and immediately reversed and went to low of day. I mean, it didn't just pull back a little bit. It ended up going all the way down to low of day. So this is the kind of market we're in right now. We're seeing a lot of choppy action, not good follow through, and this is the time to ease up. And I knew that going into the market today. And I just, you know, you underestimate how quickly you can lose 30, 40 cents a share. Because, you know, yesterday I was able to keep really tight stops, only lost $450. Today, 7,500 shares, boom, I'm out $2,000, just like that. I mean, it happens so fast. Next thing I know, I'm in CARV, I'm in with a bad entry at a 742 average, and boom, it's down at $7, and I'm down $4,000. And I've got no choice but to sell it. And of course, it's good that I sold it, because if I was still holding it, I'd be down a lot more. You know, so I kept my loss relatively small. This is relative to my account size. But definitely a little bit of a disappointing day here. So I'm hoping that things start to turn around, that maybe Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, we start to see some really good momentum. And, you know, I just hope that we can get away from these 50-cent, $1 stocks, because for me, the only way I can really do well on these is to take pretty big size, and you know, my commissions are expensive. If I take a 30,000 share position, I'm spending like $100 buying and selling. Just I mean, my commissions are gonna be like $200 round trip. just because of the way direct access routing charges you per share routing. So these types of stocks are great if you're at E-Trade or Ameritrade. It's a flat rate, but when you're trading with any direct access broker, these get expensive. And so I don't really like to trade them for that reason. It just immediately puts me in the hole. And we also have the T12 risk, which we've seen in the past stocks that went from being below a dollar, anything below a dollar, to squeezing through and being above a dollar had risk of getting halted on T12. And that's when they're halted pending investigation. And the question is, the exchange says, what's caused your company to go up 67% today? Is there news? And on a lot of these, there's no news. LMFA, we can check to see if there's any headline on MarketWatch. So when you have these types of moves without a headline, especially when they were kind of in the penny stock range, it can get, I think, regulators a little bit, interested in what's going on. That doesn't seem to be as much of an issue with the higher price stocks. I mean, it can be when a stock goes from $10 to $150, but for some reason, the penny stocks really seem to catch that attention. So that always makes me nervous when I'm looking at stocks that are right around this price. Just that potential risk of a T12 halt. So we haven't seen any in a couple weeks, so maybe it's not really a risk today, but that plus the share size, plus the fact that on a lot of these breakouts, at best, you're getting 10 or 15 cents. The only way you make money on 10 or 15 cents is to take really big size, and it's just not my cup of tea. So I really like trading stocks between $2 and, $2 and $10. $2 and $8 is good, and these ones just aren't really my thing. So I got to sit tight and be patient. It's not fun when you just got to sit on your hands, and it's not fun when you get into trades and then you immediately lose $4,000 or $5,000. But that comes with the territory of trading with big size, and you guys know that. So, if you step up to the plate and try to trade with 10, 15,000 shares on a regular basis, you're going to have days where, you're going to have days here where you make $28,000, $29,000. But you're also going to have days where you lose money. These days right here, even though they don't look that big relative to my green days, this is an $11,000 losing day. This is a $13,000 losing day, right? So, that's what comes with the territory of trading with big size. You're going to have big green days, but you're going to have big red days. You just hope that the red days are far enough apart that, you're not digging yourself into a deep hole when you do start to get the drawdown. So I don't know if I have my my max drawdown on here. I'm not seeing it. I don't remember where it is, but there's a chart on here where you can see your drawdown. So it's the most, there it is. Yeah, so you can see here in the last couple months, I've peaked on max drawdown of about $20,000, $22,000. So that means from my all-time highs, I've dropped down 20,000, but this is what my equity curve looks like. And that's just over, what is this period? And that's going all the way back to 2016. So that's a nice equity curve. I mean, I'm up here at $926,000 just in the last 2.5 years. So yeah, but like I said, these drawdowns aren't fun. The flat periods, the periods of sideways action where you just got to bite your tongue and sit on your hands. It's not easy, but it is what it is. So a little bit of a pullback here today, $6,000, $7,000, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to start to turn it around and have a green day. But yeah, you can see since 2016, my drawdowns have definitely gotten bigger, but the equity curve has also started to go up a lot faster. And so that's relative to taking more risk. You take more risk and you're going to have bigger red days, but then when you have green days, that's where it pays off. So these are my metrics right now. I guess this is whatever, $900,000, 70% accuracy, 1-to-1 profit loss ratio. And that's the biggest thing for me, is trying to keep that profit loss ratio positive is hard when you take an approach of scalping, getting in, getting out, taking quick profits and that type of thing. So it's the nature of my strategy a little bit, but the other side of scalping is that when you're up 15 or 20 cents and you take profit, it's not hard to predict when a stock will go up 15, 20 cents. So it makes your accuracy pretty high. And so that's why it's up here at 70%. And this is over the course of 2,000 trades. So there's a lot of, a lot of validity to these numbers. So anyways, that's about it for me. Big picture, life is good. I'm not going to complain. Still in really great shape on the month, and we still have 8-9 days, whatever, 6-7 days left in the month. So we've got time to recover and get myself back to 75, 85, maybe $100,000. That's the goal. All right. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys bright and early, 9:15 for pre-market analysis. All right, I'll see you guys then.
If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.